Yep. All right.
Okay.
Hey, Angie, how's it going today?
Oh, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Doing pretty good. I'm glad the weather is warming up finally.
Yeah, that that feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel good. Just sort of feel like you can go outside and expand your lungs and yeah.
Yeah. I was feeling cooped up lately, It was so it feels good to just when you go outside and you're able to, like you said, expand your lungs and breathe and then just move around
Hmm.
and then it makes you happy. It makes you want to be outside, and makes your body want to get active.
Yeah,
Stays
for
on the
sure.
move.
For sure. So, what's what's the biggest thing on your mind these days? Or at least since we
Oh,
last talked?
changing this transition of changing jobs after Easter. So it just seems like I always got a lot going on.
Hmm.
Um, and it's Easter's coming up. So making sure the kids, because you want them to have those memorable moments that you have as a
Yeah.
kid and doing Easter eggs and going to church and being with your cousins and family and, that type of thing. And but all in the sense, I'm closing up with working with children's division, um, and which I really don't even want to leave.
Oh, you're muted. You're still on mute. I can see your talk. Oh, there
I
you
think
go.
I'm so sorry. I think I had a. I'm not sure what that was. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, it's all
Um,
good.
I like I was saying before, my technology today on computer and phone are just a mess. So I do apologize. Um, but yeah, it's I'm not sure which part I cut off on.
You were talking about
It,
before it went on mute, you were talking about how you're transitioning from children's services
yeah,
to your new job.
yeah. So it's been um like I love what I do with Children's Division. I mean, like on so many levels. It's because I was a foster child for 19 years, so being a social worker and really doing the other part that I never really seen
Mm.
on and then with on different levels other than my family level that was personal for me from my experience, but seeing other different type of experiences and learning laws that are put in place for things I had to go through for those laws to be put in place. You know what I'm saying? It's just because it's like, oh, it wasn't recognized directly for me, but it was recognized enough that this was an issue and a thing happening, and these are laws put in to mitigate these things to happening. Like
Hmm.
it's been very healing and at the same time very triggering, but in a
Mm.
healthier aspect. Reflect like on who I am as a person, uh, what my development put me through, like how it's kind of sharpened me and molded me. Um, just yeah, it's just the job comes with a lot, and then I work with some great people. You always got people you can't stand, but at the same time, they're generally I work with a good group of people, and um, changing it's like I'm kind of fearful of it, and not
Yeah.
fearful, but all the worries. It's a new environment, it's a new place. I actually love where I was just at. I am taking a pay cut. There's things with the job that I don't like I have to drive my own vehicle and work for the state. You drive a state vehicle, and but it's flexible. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's a lot more flexible schedule. I have to do 40 hours inside the building within the week, but I get to pick that schedule, you know? That means I can schedule around my son's soccer games. I can schedule around me needing to be home with him the days I'm needing to be home. So, say if he's out of school on Monday, I can schedule my whole week to be out of school with him on Monday, but still do some work from home
Mhm.
uh, that I need to. I just have to do 40 hours in office. So
What is the department you're moving to?
it's progressive community services. It's still an outreach community program, helping families that have helping families that have barriers to resources that are, on the line of needing like family center services with Children's Division or
Mhm.
needing help getting to a behavioral health, a DMH, setting for a youth, or, to help the parent out or, those that have mental illnesses or mental impairments.
Mhm.
So it's or just like I said, very lack of resource to where it's detrimental that like my current job would have to get involved. And my position is the family coordinator. So um, that's not the official title, but that's basically what it is. I'm the one that gets everybody that's involved on the family case
That's really
and sit
cool.
everybody down. Yeah, sit everybody down and say these are the resources. I mean, these are the resources we have. These are the resources we need. What do we know and what do we do? And just
Uh-huh.
help organize it and assign the tasks and do the things.
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like so you're moving from a place where you dearly loved and really loved the work, and so there's a little bit of grief in the transition, which seems pretty normal. You had talked about how it was very healing in the context of also being triggering. But I'm wondering if, making this leap to this new position will further heal, um, because there will be all these not only preventative resources available to people to, stop situations from occurring, but
Mhm.
also people that are in the middle of situations. It'll provide some healing in that way. What do you think?
I mean, I really don't know what to think at this point because of I just don't. I know what the job entails, but I really don't fully have the mental grasp on it yet
Sure.
because I'm not in it, and that's just how I am though. Unless I like have a script like music theater, I don't really know how to feel about situations sometimes. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, until I'm into it, but I think that's another part that makes me nervous. Like I don't want to go here and it be not what it was perceived to be because I got this job by somebody referencing me and telling me, yeah, this is the position. Go do this, do this. We're gonna set up an interview.
Mm.
Um, like we want you on board. So when the opportunity came for me to make the decision, which was like 5 months later, I made the well, 3 months later, about 3, 4 months later, yeah, just like made the decision to do it because I thought it would help out with school. Um, and then that's not a thing either. They don't even have an LCSW there. So
Mm.
it's just a lot of up things that waiting for them to settle in a sense.
With this is sort of a nuts and bolts type of question, but and I want to get back to how you're feeling, but with this job, is it part of your schooling too? Or do
Uh,
you have like the internship and practicum is completely separate then?
okay, when you say this job is part of my schooling too, like, what do you
You're
mean in that?
in your new position, is it part of your practicum and internship?
I thought it could be, but it they don't have, they're not licensed to be able to do, they don't have the capacity to
Oh,
do that.
okay.
Like they don't have an LCSW, they don't have, I mean, it's within the work because it's kind of like social
Sure,
work
yeah, of course it
still,
is.
you know. It's still social work, within the community and advocating, but it's not a oh yeah, it's not like credentialed, like to where
Mhm.
somebody actually could. I mean, there's other options here though now that I know I can have an LCSW. Um, and God kind of threw me another fishing line out of nowhere. That the Family Guidance Behavioral Health Center. There's a lady there that was like, I know you're about to start that job, but if you could come here first. So she's talked to
Wow.
the CEO and just all on her own doing, and wants to get me out there with them. So I know I could do a practicum and internship there. They
That's
have a
wonderful.
mastering, yeah, they have a mastering degree, intern and practicum available.
That's got to feel empowering, but
It,
also just you're being called to this work.
mm, I didn't even think about it like that. I just thought about of it as being just a blessing out of nowhere when I feel trapped. God
Mm,
ram in the bush, being that door, that window that you didn't see in the corner of the room.
mm.
Um,
Yeah.
so
How does
yeah.
it sit with you being called to this work?
Um, you saying being called to this work every time I hear it makes me just want to smile. I'm not sure why yet, but it's it feels validating when that happens in a sense.
Hmm.
Um, it just, yeah, it makes me feel it's very validating. And it's confirming, like it's giving me some confirmation of, yeah, it's hard, it's tough, trying to mitigate the many parts and being the queen on the on the chessboard, trying to make sure what's moving right is moving right. Where you got to move in, you have to chameleon and move in.
I don't know.
Sometimes you
I don't
can't.
know many more people that are as capable as you for moving all those chess pieces because you do a fine job.
Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate it.
I
I
speak
do
truth,
appreciate it.
Angie.
There must be truth.
Yeah, I speak truth.
Yeah, all truths. Look, as my sister friend would say, biblical.
That's right.
As it's biblical, girl, that means it's all the truth. Yeah, yeah. I receive that, and thank you, because I need to work on receiving for what's for me when it's good, because I don't know, I receive a lot of things when it's wrong. I take on that responsibility and just figure it out. So when it is a good aspect of people seeing me and thinking of me in that perspective, it's honoring, it's humbling, but and it's like I said, it's just yeah, I need to work on receiving what's what's actually good. Um,
That can be
and
really
even
hard.
huh,
When you spend, so much of your energy on making sure that others are taken care of because you're a nurturer, you're a giver. It
yeah.
can be really hard for people that are similar to receive.
Mm, I didn't think about that.
I don't know what it is about that to to receive because in receiving then it also continues to fuel you for the work that you are, let's just say, that you're being called to.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's like, the being equipped, like, how the word says, putting on the whole armor of God after, but it comes after he refines you, like using the things you go through to equip you for what you need for where you're supposed to be at. Whatever that's supposed to mean, right? Where we're supposed to be.
Right.
But whatever the like your purpose is, your journey is, like and to me the purpose is what you're doing, like no matter what it is you're doing. Even if I change careers, like that now is my new purpose, right? You don't always have just one purpose. So like I don't know. I just, ma'am, this whole transition has been confirming but scary at the same time, like I said.
Sure. Of course. Of course. New things are always scary. I mean, it doesn't even, I mean, even when you're like, super prepared or not, not including the things that you're sad about leaving, but
Hmm.
when you're moving into something new, I don't care who you are. You could be wearing a cape and still have trepidation.
Yes.
Um, it's a sign of humility, and it's a sign of also being open to what is to come.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think it's okay to honor being I don't want to say trepidatious or just fearful or even just
Hmm.
sad.
Yeah. I'm really about to miss, like, today was gonna be my last day, and I have a problem with oh, this is another thing. So I'm saying I have a with working with children's division, because I've learned, like, teaching my parents or helping my parents with obtaining the knowledge of coping skills, like, and how coping skills is different for everybody. Like, you could give the same type of technique to cope, but it's not going to work for everybody, right? So
Hmm.
like giving them coping skills has really made me realize, like, on departures like this, because of foster care, like how I cope with leaving is unhealthy in a sense. Like I'm okay to say that now. Like I think
Hmm.
if this was me 10 years ago, I would really have a problem and project, like, my unhealthy coping skill onto somebody else. And now it's kind of like, I'm taking accountability for it and recognizing it. So I know I'm going to be able to work on it in the future.
That's
Uh,
really amazing. I mean, there are so many folks out there that need to be more self-aware, and that's pretty darn self-aware. And
Man, it slapped me like a ton of bricks. Like, I didn't go in day before yesterday because I knew I was going to be leaving on the 18th.
mhm,
But then I didn't even though I do have, like, phone troubles, like, just to be honest with you, I didn't even let them know that I wasn't going to be there. And then just came in that yesterday, like, yeah, y'all know I'm leaving here. I'm starting to pack up my stuff. And I realized how unhealthy that was.
mhm.
And I started to reflect back and think, I've done this before, not all the time, but I've done it before with places that I know that I was comfortable, like, regardless of the struggles, um, and had a hard time leaving because of a decision I made. You know, um,
Uh-huh. What do you think that's about? What do you think is underneath that having
mm,
a hard time with a decision you've
that's
made?
what I've been trying to identify. Honestly, I think because I left, like, when I would have to leave foster homes, um,
Oh.
some of them that I really did like Mama Simpson, and that was my choice. Like, I was a teenager and I thought I knew everything, and being fast and ran away, well, my way too older at the time boyfriend and just thought I was doing something and didn't know that didn't know that she had ovarian cancer, didn't know that, she was looking for me, and with me being gone for a couple of months, she moved to Florida, and that was the best woman of my life. Like if I could pick a mom, she'd be it. She'd truly be
Oh.
it. I love my biological mother regardless, but you know what I'm saying? There's just certain people. Um, yeah. So I think, what, I didn't even realize that because I actually been pondering on that, like why? And I think that I've done things like that in my past with foster care, like the places that weren't always perfect, but they were really good for me.
Mhm.
And we really did nurture each other in a sense and have that bond of whatever, that core to the core of us. There was a tight bond, and it was real love and genuine, authentic love. And it was on me why I wasn't there. I didn't know that she was going to teach me how to drive so I could help her when she was sick and blah blah. I didn't know
Uh-huh.
she was thinking of me like that. And she really, really, really loved me. But I was young and dumb and thought I knew everything at 16. That we all do. We all think we know stuff. So I think with the job too, it's kind of like that. Like my supervisor, we butted heads horribly for a while. Um, and I think that's because I just left a supervising position. So I still was in my mindset of I got this,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do,
yeah.
yeah, and I'm gonna do it. And she was new to a supervising position. So, it was kind of, and we're the same age. And so, but we end up bonding over a lot of that, like towards the end here. Like, and our relationship's very nurturing. We had similar things going on with us being caretakers of our father, and God rest his soul, hers has passed. Um, within the last 6 months of me knowing, and I've known her for over a year now. So it's like, we've bonded a lot. And because of a choice and decision I made, thinking I knew stuff before, just trying to wait things out and seeing what's going on. I'm missing out on my big family that I created over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big connection
yeah.
between when you were young and then moving on from this current position. I wonder
Mm,
how some of that has evolved into an issue of trusting yourself and the decisions that you make.
mm,
Because when we are young, we think we know all the things, and that's
yeah.
pretty normal. But now you're moving on to something that, by all the things that you've listed, are really important and good things for you and your family, and you're continuing to do the good work, the calling, and how you can trust yourself in that process.
Hmm. That's interesting. Becky, that's interesting. Hold on. Because like it's do I really trust my own decisions? Like am I still making decisions out of I know I'm making decisions out of thinking about what is best for my son and
Oh,
and and
yeah.
then myself. Um
But you're also making decisions that are good for this new calling. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say it's a new calling. I think it's an evolving calling for you. But you're making decisions that will further that too.
hmm, yeah, and even if, and this is gonna sound horrible, but because I know I'm doing field work, which would be horrible for me to go through field work, find a place
Mhm.
like family guidance, because all I need to do is give them a cover letter, the requirements, my resume, right?
Mhm.
And they will hire me with for
Yeah.
my
Yeah, you're
master's.
not gonna have a hard time with that.
Not at all. Like I know that they're going to hire me. And Fallon already wants me to use her. Kind of demanded me to use her as a reference. So um, I know I'll get that position. Here I go again with this guilt part, though. I would feel bad about going to Progressive Community Services just to leave within months because they're needing somebody that's going to be here for some years,
Yeah. But tap into
and
that
that's
like
the
self-aware stuff that you've been really working on about, you know, looking at what's underneath the decisions you're making and trust that you're gonna make those good decisions for everyone, the best decision that you can make because you have so much at stake between your son and the hard work that you're doing with another master's program because there's this, shall we say, calling. I don't want to say, shall we say, you're being called to this work. And you know, you're not that teenage girl anymore.
mm-hmm, true, very
So
true.
it's getting to be about time for us to close out, but I did want to ask you, as you go through this weekend and navigate um, the sort of the goodbyes from your current position and your hellos to the new one, what is something you can do to honor how you're feeling?
Well, because like you said, me being as self-aware as I am now, which hearing you say it as often as you did, like, and me working on that acceptance part, and receiving it, I remind myself to give myself some grace though within what I'm feeling, because I think when I start feeling down and bad about it is when I start feeling like the negative responses, the guilt, the what ifs, the oh my gosh, and then I start disassociating or isolating. So, like, to sever the bond, and then no, just give myself some grace and say, I'm human, and these emotions are, it's okay for it to come to it because I am grieving what I love, and at the same time making the decisions of what I need for where I'm at right now. Even
Hmm.
if it is just a transition period, this may just have to be a transition job. And that just, I'm have to be okay with that.
Yeah,
It's not the end of the world. So I think giving myself some grace
yeah.
is what I'm gonna make a mental note to do. I don't know.
Give
Just be
yourself
mindful
some
of it, I guess.
grace. I'm thinking about when we very first started too, we had talked about how wonderful it is to be getting outside and maybe what even just taking a walk with your son, um, going to get some ice cream. um,
That's always a good thing too.
yeah, I mean, like ice cream fixes everything.
Bikes and ice cream. Just have a day of bikes and ice cream. I do want to have a son and mom day this weekend when
Yeah,
I'm off in between the jobs because I haven't had that opportunity.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
So that's something I can do too. Give myself some grace and have a
Yeah,
son and mom day.
yeah. Well, Angie, as we are coming to an end of our time and our session, I want to thank you for sharing with me and just how incredible this journey you are on, not just from, answering your call to this work, but also recognizing how you're evolving from this young person who made young person decisions but into this woman who is really mindful of all the different areas that decisions are being made and how they impact those that you care so deeply about. So I want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you. And this
And
did
we'll see
make
you
me feel
next
better.
time.
See you next time. Did you
Okay.
stop recording?
Oh, I can stop that.